Hello everyone, I'm very glad to introduce my app. Its name is Chinese Thai Chinese Bridge app. As we all know, there are many apps on our smartphone that help us to deal with the problem we meet in daily life. Nowadays, Chinese and Thailand are one family. Chinese students and Thai students should communicate with each other. I'm very happy to hear that Thai students learn Chinese and Chinese culture. First, I will introduce my app, Chinese Thai Chinese Bridge app. It contains basic entitled words, Chinese listening course, Chinese lecture story course, and point to read Chinese. The culture of Beijing Chinese Bridge School. Beijing, the capital of China, is also famous for its language culture. If you learn Chinese, you should go to Beijing School. In Beijing, you can learn Chinese history and Chinese culture story. You can learn Chinese newspaper, Chinese history, historic, and many famous construction. You can see the Great Wall. You can learn Chinese people. You can speak Chinese very well. You may be think Chinese is very difficult for foreigners, but there are more people to learn Chinese. They always think it is difficult to learn it. I would like to introduce this app to study Chinese for talent students. First, you should grasp the difference between language. If you like music, you can learn Chinese music. They are very famous, and many foreigners listen it. You should learn Chinese song. It is very necessary for foreigners to learn Chinese very well. In our school, you not only listen Chinese music, but also you can read Chinese articles every day. You can find where you can when you can read a long Chinese sentence, and it is very important in learning your language. You can listen Chinese word. You can learn Chinese word. You can read Chinese newspapers. You can speak Chinese story to your brother or sister or mother, father. It is very interesting. You can read some Chinese text in little months, then you can speak Chinese quickly. In our school, you can learn many Chinese story, Chinese culture. There are many advantages for Thai students. You can improve your speak Chinese. You can speak Chinese to buy food. You can buy many Chinese great food. It is very delicious. You can read Chinese story, newspaper, and so on. You can understand Chinese culture. You can communicate with the Chinese students. Chinese students and Thai students can communicate with each other. The more you use Chinese, the better you will